It's Alec here, and I enjoyed kind of like working with this scenario, and I thought I'll just share it. As data analysts and builders of dashboards, we often find ourselves in the need of having to reflect and summarize information, okay, for the user, but it's not always as easy to get to that answer. So I thought I'll just show you in a small little scenario. So in this table of data, it's very small. It's not even a table, it's just in normal, it's just been put into cell over here. There's just 5 names over here, and each of the people that are named here with name and surname have points allocated to them. Now, if I were to say something like, I want to see how many points did people with the name Alec get? Obviously, 1, 2, 3. I can go and summarize it with my cursor and have a look over here. And if I say, but what are the points for the people that surname is Candiotis? I would say, okay, well, visually I can see that, and that would be 1, 2, 3, and that's 100. But what about if this is a massive data set and it goes, and it spreads across, hundreds of lines, etc., etc. That becomes very difficult to do it that way. So how do we do that kind of, summary? So SUMIFS works here, but SUMIFS with something called a wildcard operator is going to work perfectly here. So let me show you how that works. Okay, we go equals SUMIFS, which means sum something if it meets certain criteria. So I'm just going to open that parentheses. And it says sum this range, all right, F4, then where is my criteria range? Okay, my criteria range is over here. I'm just going to F4 that again. Why? Because I just want to fix it. If I ever wanted to drag it across, it's going to stick to this specific reference. But what do I want to find? So let's say I want to find the word Alec over here. It's finding nothing. Why? Well, SUMIFS on that criteria actually looks for the entire cell content. All right, so let me show you. If I were to change this to just Alec, you see this changes to the number 10. All right, so let me just make this slightly bigger so we can see answers coming out here. And I'll make this red so we can, kind of like just see what answers we get. Okay, so that doesn't help us. So I had Alec Candiotis over here, and that's going to go back to 0. So how do I do this? Okay, so there's something called a wildcard operator. An operator, this asterisk is one of the operators, and that operator basically says look for something before or after anything. Okay, so let me show you how that works. If I say search for the word Alec and search for it before anything, it finds 60. Right, so that means search for Alec before anything. Now I'm finding Alec. All right. So now I can make this dynamic by saying, well, why don't I just, put it in over here? I say search for something, and the operator at this stage is at, which I can then just work with referencing. I just reference the cell now. I say Alec, no, that's the cell. Okay. And what am I using? I'm using that as an operator, and it's going to give me the same answer. So check if I move this across now, and now I say, okay, well, I rather want to search for the word Candiotis, but before it needs to be after anything, 100. So that means it's just changed. It says, well, Candiotis is after anything. It means that's now after a space in this instance, or in all of those cases. But even if I were to put something like, an underscore here, it's still going to see that Candiotis. So it's after anything. Even if I put no space, it's still going to find that Candiotis, which is quite a cool little operator because you can have a little bit of dirty data and still going to kind of find it. So I quite like that. Even if you were to, kind of go back to this Alec instance over here, it's also finding that Alec and that Candiotis perfectly. All right. So, and the way to do it dynamically is obviously to do a concatenate. This is a small concatenate function. If you put the ampersand in there, you can also use concatenate over here and rather just say concatenate whatever I give you. So I'm just going to say those two concatenate. There we concatenate, and that'll also give me the same answer. But ampersand is concatenate, by the way. All right, cool. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys did as well, and I think that helps a lot. Just to kind of like use that wildcard operator whenever you are not certain where to find it, but you're just looking for single words, in more than one word environments. All right, guys, have a great one. Thanks. Hey, bye.